5 Questions with LeRoy Butler. Now, here's Tom Silverstein.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to 5 Questions with LeRoy Butler. We are here post-bye week. Did you have a good bye?
All my buys look the same since I've been retired.
They're good, yeah.
But the one thing about it, I will say this, Tom, when you have a bye week, normally I would like it to be after week 8, maybe even week 9. But when you have so many injuries, this bye came at a great time for the Green Bay Packers, for Davante Adams, Kamal Martin, Kevin King. He went out. Just Kenny Clark. There's so many guys that were injured. If they can get some of those guys back, I think it'll be great. But the problem is, Tom, they got like 12 or 13 weeks. Depends if they have a COVID episode or not, of 12 straight weeks of football. So you got to make sure your team is healthy down the stretch.
Yeah, and you know what I wonder too is if you had your choice, you're 4-0 and you're on a roll. Do you really want your bye week right away? Don't you want to continue to build the momentum that you had through the first 4 weeks of the season?
No, I don't want to play without Davante Adams. If they can give him a week to heal up, and I can get him for the stretch run, I'd rather have that. Although I know they said, they're 5-0 without him. I don't want to keep chancing playing teams without my best player, especially when you're playing a team like Tampa, who some people in the media, not me or you, thought Tampa would be representing the Super Bowl at home since the Super Bowl is in Tampa. I just think that, Matt LaFleur's been doing a fantastic job of keeping these guys focused. And remember, some of these guys, Tom, they were just completed their 4th preseason game in a normal world. So you give them the bye week to study longer. Chris Barnes, get these guys studying more, because you're going to have these guys going to have to play a lot of downs. So I think the bye week is perfect. God is good because not only can you get these guys one more week experience and playing time, and remember, this bye week is not normally. These guys would travel and go places.
Mm-hmm.
No, they stayed in town, and I just only can imagine how great the young guys have to be. Like, I can get one more week of studying in without playing an opponent.
Mm-hmm.
That would really be great for those guys.
Yeah, but as you said, it's a 12-game season now, and there's no break unless they add that 18th week to the season, which is a possibility if they have to keep canceling games.
Exactly. Yeah.
But it starts out with a pair of road games, and then they come back for Minnesota. So they have to figure out a way to pick up where they left off. And I don't know if that's a challenge or not. I don't know if you can just roll the ball back out after a bye week and play the way you were, because they were probably playing as good as anybody in the NFL at the time of the bye.
Yeah, and I think that's a message that LaFleur and the coaching staff has been getting these guys to understand, that it is about 1-0 each week. Now, I understand the momentum, but there are no fans anywhere. So it doesn't, as far as the juice, as Darius Smith always says, bring your own juice. These guys know what's at stake. What Matt LaFleur is doing in a year and a half, winning games, I don't see that stopping, because Aaron Rodgers is on an MVP level. Aaron Jones is on a Pro Bowl level. Your offensive line is the best in football. And I really believe your defense can improve upon tackling in the bye week. They can talk about these things. But I did some numbers myself, and I'm not an analytics person, but all they got to do is get 1 to 2 stops per quarter. Even one, make them punt 5 times, and the Packers can beat anybody. They have to make the other quarterback, put all the onus on him to win games for them, because their strength is getting after the quarterback.
Yeah, and they're facing a team that is 3-2.
Yeah.
It took a kind of a tough loss in Chicago on Thursday night.
Yeah.
But they're sort of the opposite of what you would expect. They pick up Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski, and they've got Mike Evans coming back and Leonard Fournette.
Yep.
And they're really a defensive team. They're really hard to score on. They're almost impossible to run on.
Yeah, they really stacked the box. But if you're patient, there is opportunities. I mean, but back on offense for a minute ago, Tom. This is Tom Brady, 43 years old, not the Tom Brady back, 10 years ago when they were winning Super Bowls when he was with, New England. It's a little bit different. I mean, it's the same thing. It's going to be some struggles when you're in a new offense. Maybe next year he'll be maybe like Aaron Rodgers, a little bit more fluent in the offense, but he has weapons. But Godwin's been hurt. O.J. Howard is out. He got hurt. They got a rookie starting on the offensive line. I mean, there's some issues there, but they do run the ball well with Ronald Jones. That guy can really run the ball. I think he had like 17 carries over 100 yards against Chicago. But your point is with their defense, if you go all the way back there, when they played the Saints, they really, really played well. But the problem was Drew Brees throwing pick sixes in 4 of his 6 games or something like that. When you turn the ball over like that, it's hard on defenses to really get what you want to do. But Barrett, they got a few guys in their defense, Tom, that really flies around and give their offense a chance to score with good field position.
Yeah, and they are aggressive. They've got Ndamukong Suh in the middle. They've got William Golston's a good pass rusher. Levante David is a top linebacker. Jason Pierre-Paul. I mean, they're pretty stacked in the front 7. So
Winfield Jr. too. I like him as a young player.
Yeah, their second round pick.
Yeah.
And as you mentioned, the first round pick, Tristan Wirfs, is on the offensive line. But that's where the Packers are going to have to win a little bit to affect Tom Brady, because he's not really throwing those deep balls that you're used to seeing in New England. I mean, yeah, they dinked and dunked in New England, but they took their shots a lot. And here, he's got Mike Evans, but I just don't know if he's had the time to sit back there and really dissect the team.
That's why the multiple tight ends said with O.J. Howard, him and Gronk were 2 big guys. They can chip before they go out. Because you're right, Evans has always been a deep threat, regardless of the quarterback. But now they want to do a lot of things. If you take Bruce Arians back when he was in Arizona, they threw the ball a lot to a lot of different receivers. But again, if you get Tom Brady off his spot, you have some opportunities.
Yeah. I mean, Khalil Mack was in his face all night long.
Yep.
And, the Bears had pressure on him constantly. And it really affected his game. And I don't think Rob Gronkowski is the player he once was. You can see he can still catch the ball, but he doesn't run like he used to.
Right.
So, but they still have to keep an eye on him. I mean, it's an offense that can beat you, but I just think the Packers, they need to come out playing like they did before. And if they don't, they got a shot at losing this game.
You see, that's the thing about it. I sound like a broken record, but this isn't a good case. Matt LaFleur has his team really focused, man. I really do. Matter of fact, I'm working on something this week, Tom, and we'll talk about it later about how Atlanta, Rams, Tennessee, how you let a talent like Matt LaFleur get out from underneath your wings, and we benefited from that. But for some reason, he has the ear of his locker room and his leaders. His leaders are saying, let's just stay focused. But before the season, now let's be honest, before the season, you looked at this game as a pivotal game early in the season.
Mm-hmm.
And you thought maybe Tampa would be 4-0 and maybe the Packers would be 3-2. But for some reason, the Packers weren't the best in the league at scoring. Their defense, is not rated very high, but they play just well enough, to win games. So I think it'll be a very good game, but I think for the most part, the Packers have too much talent on offense, especially if you get Davante Adams back. I mean, that guy's truly amazing. You have fresh legs, and I just look for them to win this game. And I want to see the continued success of Robert Tonyan and Aaron Rodgers' chemistry. I like to see that. That's that Brett Favre Tremura chemistry down in the red zone. So if you're the Packer, you can still create your own momentum, but at the same time, you got to stay focused and understand that going 5-0 really increases your chances, not only staying alongside Seattle, but it puts you in a position to where teams have to come after you now, and you can just be aggressive.
Yep. All right, so you got a prediction for us?
Yeah, my prediction, and I thought about this, for a while, because on the road, you would think that teams play different on the road. But if you go back and look the way they played with the Saints and when they played in Minnesota, this team is rolling. I mean, this team is rolling. I expect for them to go down to Tampa, and I think they're going to win by 10 points. I don't know what the spread is. I don't know. I'm just going to go with 33-23 because I think they're just that good. Now, if you're a Packer fan, I think if you're down in that area, I think they may have a few fans at the game.
Yeah, they're allowing some fans.
Yeah, so normally, Tom, I will say my fans. Back in the 90s, we would have 20,000 people take over the Tampa area. Mm-hmm. Tampa, Detroit is one of the number one destinations. But if you do go, Packer fans, please be safe, wear a mask, social distance, because this is a game that most people circled and got their tickets already as soon as they saw these teams coming out, hoping that the pandemic will either, subsided or they'll be letting fans into the game. So it's going to be a lot of people probably trying to go to that particular game.
All right. Well, it'll be, once again, unique. They all are.
Yeah.
So far, the Packers have avoided any bad COVID situations, and now it's on to the last 3 quarters of the regular season. So yeah. I know you got some people you want to thank and some stuff that you want to mention.
Yeah, you can get LeRoy's, my new brat, at GameDayBrats.com. And there they are. We have spicy too for grown men out there. I'm a mild guy. I'm sorry. I don't want to drink 3 bottles of water for every hot wing or brat that I eat. So you can have those hot ones. I like mild. You can go to GameDayBrats.com and order yours today. I want to thank Ivanhoe's Pub and Eatery. If you're in the Racine, Mount Pleasant area, they have the best food. You can order pickup, or you can order and go. I think they have a percentage of people can go inside and eat as well if you want to watch games and things like that. That'd be a great way you can go watch the game if you want to try to get out. Pick and Save. I really have to spend a shout out to Pick and Save because we're going to be giving away, hundreds of turkeys between now and Thanksgiving, and Pick and Save is helping me coordinate that. And if you're a young man out there and you want to propose to a young lady, or if the young lady want to propose, I suggest do what I did. Go to shoptjc.com. That's the jewelry center. And trust me, they're going to work with your budget. They're going to make sure your wife is happy. I don't use the word fiance because once you propose to her, she's your wife. That's just me, though. I know I'm in the minority with that.
All right.
Some guys like to carry that fiance thing, but next thing you know, they're engaged for 15 years. So
yeah,
make her your wife. Go see the Jewelry Center.
All right. Well, don't forget to check in with X's and O's. We're going to break down a play from the Packer-Atlanta game and then also look at a Tampa Bay play. And don't forget to check into our live feed. We'll be online after the game to discuss everything that happened, and we'll be on Facebook Live on LeRoy's Facebook page, as well as PackersNews.com and JSOnline.com. And be sure you check both of our Twitter accounts for an exact time, but expect maybe an hour after the game that we'll be online, and we will take questions from you as well. So Be sure you join us for that. And we will see you next week.